Hey guys, welcome to the second installment on the How to Play Ranked series. I'm DeviasNinja and you're watching Pro Play Transit. This video will be about in-game and things you can do to help you win. Tip number 1, don't rage. If your team is doing bad and you're doing even worse, you raging at your team is not going to help you guys win. Try to stay positive and try to keep your teammates positive. I know from experience, the game is playing right now in the background. My team was doing really bad. We were raging at the beginning, and then we started to, pull together and be a team, and we actually started to win the game. And when you see that we won the game at the end. Another thing you can do is be respectful. If your teammates and stuff are calling each other names and all that good stuff, sure, it's all fun in games, but when someone else's feelings gets hurt and then they rage quit and you guys lose because they left, that is not, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Yeah, if it's you and your friends, it's understandable, but if it's you and some bunch of strangers that you don't know, try to be nice to them no matter what. Don't play a first-time champion in ranked. If you're like, oh, the new champion Thresh just came out, okay, I'm gonna go play him in ranked because I heard he's really good, and then you have no idea what you're doing, you have no idea what you're building, you don't even know his abilities, you never touched him once in your life, and you're like feeding, and you're just like, oh yeah, sorry guys, first-time Thresh, and everyone's like, what the fuck, kill yourself. Learn how to counter certain champions, but also learn about team dynamics. Let's say they have a bunch of really squishy but really high damage champions. You guys are like, man, I want to counter each of those champions, but the champs you counter them with are also really squishy. Then you're probably most likely going to lose, because if you built a tanky team that you all did well with, then you probably would have beat them, because if you guys have a high burst and be tanky, then you would have beat them. So learn about team dynamics and learn about how to counter and stuff like that. Help your teammates, because if you don't help them, they're not going to want to come and help you. If you see there's a fight breaking out around the dragon area and you're in mid lane, you don't come down to help and they die because your mid went to go help and you sat there farming, they're going to be like, man, what are you doing mid? Come on, come help us. You saw that we were pretty close to you too. You could just walked over here and helped us and got a triple kill because you're fucking Mordekaiser. Don't blame the jungler. If you always constantly blame the jungler, like it's his fault that he's not ganking your lane, maybe we need to stop overextending, and maybe you need to stop trying to get that little bit of farm behind the person. That is not his fault, and it's probably your fault for being stupid and doing not so smart things. So watch what you're doing before you blame somebody else. Learn the keybinds on the keyboard. If you're still clicking your abilities, maybe you should stop playing this game. There are certain, if you hold control and then press that ability, that'll level up that ability. If you hold shift and press an ability and it's a skill shot, that'll automatically skill shot to where your mouse is. If you play someone like Ezreal, this is really helpful and it's a lot easier to play. So learn to do stuff like that. Also, 1 to 6 is your item slots. So if you still click your health slots and stuff, it's not going to help you in fights. If you're running away, you're trying to click away, then you have to move your mouse all the way down to where your health slots and stuff are. You should probably be hitting 1 or 2 or whatever, and make sure you have them properly in the right key slots. It makes it easier for you to click them, depending on how big your hand is and all that stuff. This is more for in the queue. If you're picking and you guys are in queue and the person in last pick calls ADC, and because you're ahead of them, you're like, nah bro, I'm ADC. After they called it, and you called right before you lock in, you're like, yeah, I'm ADC, and he's like, what the fuck, dude, I called ADC a long time ago. Maybe he'd do better than you, you never know. Some people got stuck in elo hell like I did, so, I'm over here carrying my teams to victory, but, it's you don't always want to put someone down just because they're in a lower elo than you. That doesn't mean very much. Don't blame someone else for your faults. If you're, doing bad and stuff like that, and then you're always running into the team by yourself, and then you keep dying, and you're like, where's my team? And you obviously saw that on the map that they weren't there, and they're like, well, I don't know, dude, you kind of just ran into the jungle and tried to steal their blue buff, and then you died. So how is that our fault? Also, map awareness is very important. If you don't have map awareness, you're not going to do very well. If your team is warding and all that stuff, but you can't see them, you're overextended, and there's obviously wards there, and then you can see someone coming, and you can sit there still farming, and you die. You're like, where's my team? You're like, bro, there was wards. We all pinged you back, and you sat there doing nothing. How is that our fault? Maybe you should learn, to listen to us and read the chat and listen to pings and all that good stuff. And yeah, use pings properly. If you're using the wrong ping for the wrong thing, you will probably kill somebody. If you're okay, ping them back for someone to fall back and fight, and they could have got that kill because there's nobody else coming, and they're just like, oh, all right, I guess, okay, whatever. That's not so bad as when you ping someone to go initiate when you know that there's someone in the bush. There's no words, but your mid's MIA, and you still have them going to bot lane, and they're in the bot bush. They're but your team's overextended, and they're low health, and all of a sudden they initiate, and then all you hear is double kill. Enemy has been slain, and it's like, okay, whatever. And yeah, don't forget to call your MIAs. If your mid goes missing and you don't call your MIA, and then they get ganked at bot, and they're like, mid, where's the MIA? You're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I was just sitting here doing nothing. And please, 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 I cannot stress this enough, ward your map. If you don't ward, you will lose. If you don't have Baron ward, you won't know when they're Baroning. If you don't have Dragon warded, you won't know when they're Dragoning. If you don't have wards down at all, pretty much, you won't know where the team is. And that's always a good thing to know where their enemy team is, so you know when, you know, like one person's in your jungle trying to take wolves, and all of a sudden your whole team just gets on them, gets that quick kill. You know, stuff like that will always help you guys. Another very important thing is to know the enemy champion and how to avoid, you know, certain things. Like in this game, I'm playing against a lot of people like Darius and stuff like that. Some champions are very hard to deal with, like even like Darius top lane. Like he's just like, there are certain champs that will counter him, but if you're one of the champs that don't counter him, you're getting wrecked at top, and then he just snowballs and just goes crazy late game, and you're just like, damn, sorry guys. You know, you like maybe want to stay back a little bit and, you know, not be as jumping in and killing yourself all the time. Try to be more precautious depending on what champ you're playing against. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you guys have any more tips or tricks that I didn't mention in this video, leave it as a comment for anybody else. If this helps you, leave it as a comment, because I actually want to know your feedback. Like, I have been getting more feedback recently, which is really good. Thanks, by the way. Anyways, spread this video around, tell your friends. Part 3 will be coming out soon. Sorry it took so long to put out part 2. I was too busy, you know, doing all this next stuff. I will be presenting to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace. The pregame being before the game starts. So one thing that I like to do, play a game. There's one game. It's called Ozu. Now, if you have no idea what Ozu